I'm like sucking on it like it's an actual just a soda. And then I was like, oh, starting to feel this shit. I better slow down. So I had to put it down. By the time we get to the second part, I'm going to be like, wasted. No, I'm just kidding. If we're ready, I do have a PSA. I have a PSA announcement that we should talk about.
Hey, Carlene.
Hi, Alma.
How the hell are you?
Oh, fucking great.
After you just gave me a freaking earful right now, how are you?
I know. I'm looking at myself and making sure I don't have a double chin going on.
It's all right, because nobody's going to see that. It's just me. It's just me.
I know. It is a good thing that people can't see us right now.
Right. I feel the same way, because I look like my mom.
But your mom's gorgeous. And I love, and I bet your mom looked like when she was younger, so.
I'll have to show you some pictures. She was a hot mama.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I bet you guys, because you're very pretty, and if I'm telling you, you look like your mom.
I'm blushing.
You're beautiful. But I'm telling you, I'm looking at myself right now and going, girl, what is happening here?
Whatever. You are a beautiful woman.
Tell me I'm beautiful.
You are beautiful, Carlene. You are beautiful.
Okay, so I have to tell you, I was laying in bed the other morning.
You're kind of cutting out.
I woke up and my TV was on. I must have woke up, turned on my TV, thought I was going to stay awake and go back to sleep. And so I could hear it in the distance. And all it was, coronavirus. And the Today Show is 4 hours and all they do is talk of coronavirus, right?
Right.
And finally I just got so mad and I was like, oh my God, this is so irritating. I can't take it anymore. This is enough. This is driving people crazy who are stuck in their homes. One, people are in their homes and they're with their families. And to me, it's kind of a good thing that people are in their houses and enjoying family time.
Right.
It's kind of like making you kind of smell the roses, but in a different kind of way. So It's a good thing. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Right? But then if you turn on the TV, think of people who are people that like to have TV on night, and all it is constant COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID. That's all you're hearing day and night. It's exhausting. It messes with your head.
Oh, it does. It definitely does.
Honestly, I get that it's changing all the time, and we do need updates. We do need to stay current, but we don't need it for 4 hours every morning, plus the 2 or 3 hours with the locals, plus the hour or whatever that's on at noon, plus the 2 or 3 hours that are on in the evening, plus the late night news. I mean, we're getting a good 8 to 10 hours of news a day, right. Not to mention CNN that's on all day and all they do is talk about. I mean, it is nothing but coronavirus. So my PSA is shut your TVs off and give yourself a coronavirus break.
Yeah.
Because it's going to drive you crazy. And all you need is maybe watch it, get your update once a day or whatever, get your little update and on, because do anything about it except for be proactive by staying inside, only go out if you have to get groceries or go to the doctor, and wash your hands, be proactive in that way, but you can't do anything else about it except for stay as informed as possible without being overly informed, because it's going to put you in a depression.
Right. No. It's like morning, noon, and night coronavirus. We're being just fed, force-fed coronavirus. I mean, I get, I don't know. I feel really bad. I just want to say, if there's anybody out there, any of our listeners that are first responders, that are nurses, that are doctors, and you guys are, on the front lines, we, super appreciate what you guys are doing for everybody, and we understand that you guys are going home to your families or not going home to your families to protect them. Can you hear me?
But yeah, I agree. I say thank you to all of you. I have a lot of people that come to me that are nurses, and I have doctor friends and family, and and police officer family and friends, and we are very grateful for everything.
We're so grateful.
Even my daughter, I want to say thank you to. She doesn't get a choice. She doesn't have a choice. She is exposed, and she has to go to work, and she gets peed on by these parents that treat her like crap when she's taking care of their children.
Right.
Who, she doesn't know who's infected and who it's just the flu or cold, and she's taking care of their children at the dorm, and they're not doing it. She's doing it,
yeah,
and she's putting herself at risk.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And she doesn't get gratitude. She just had to deal with a parent yesterday. Oh my God, my poor daughter. And she's like telling me some of the stuff this woman was saying, who, by the way, my daughter wanted to leap over the counter because this person is not being proactive. She doesn't believe in it. The woman believes that that the government is just telling us that we're going to be sick so that we all get sick.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
And yeah, and that, they tell us that we're going to have this or that, or doctors tell you you're going to have this or that, or pharmaceutical. Listen, it isn't that. We are human beings, and human beings get viruses because there's environmental things.
And they mutate all the fucking time, so
right.
They're unpredictable. You don't know when they're gonna. Look at the fucking Spanish flu. Like, that was before
right.
there was all this technology. Like, these people that are like coming up with all these conspiracy theories are fucking driving me nuts.
Well, they make me laugh when they say things like that, like even people that do what I do, and then they say that, oh, well, you inflict arthritis or cancer or whatever into yourself because of trauma, or there's that. Well, then tell me, why does my cat get these conditions? Are they inflicting that stuff into themselves because they're stressed, or because they're worried about paying bills, or because they have daddy issues? No. We are in an environment. There's pollution, there's toxic foods, there's chemicals, it's an environment that we are in. We're in this giant bubble with billions of people, animals, viruses, bacteria, all kinds of things that even animals get sick. And so if you think that you can cure that, then you should be donating your time over at like Phoenix Children's or the Vets Hospital and helping people who could use your help.
Yeah, and
it's what I feel.
All of that being said, we're not going to talk about coronavirus anymore for the rest of this episode.
Yeah, I just want it to be a happy break, but I've been wanting to just reach out to everybody and say, please give yourself a break, because it's so easy to go dark at this time, especially in your house. Like, just go in your backyard, enjoy some sunlight, be like your kids, like laugh at silly things,
Dude, I'm in my happy place at home. But I do feel bad for people that get cabin fever easily, that, like they need to be out and moving around and they need to be socializing all the time. That I feel for, because I have several of those people in my circle that I know that's hard for them.
I'm super content myself. And I will say, today we did the whole, my mom's 75th birthday and my stepdad's 81st birthday. I mean, those are big birthdays, 75. And we're like, we can't even take her to dinner. And so we did the whole we got everybody together. We probably had at least 15 cars.
That's
and
awesome.
We all rode on our cars, put streamers on them. And then my sister told her she was just going to drop dinner off for her. And she dropped off Cheesecake Factory. And then we all just drove around like 3 times in a parade, honking our horns and yelling it. It made her day. It made Reggie's day. It made my mom's day. They were so happy. But like getting out to do that on such a beautiful day, it was exhausting, but it was fun.
Yeah, I bet.
But
we need that. We need that
totally
right now.
say it.
My mother-in-law's birthday is also,
she
is this month, and we were planning her a party, but that's not going to happen. So
you guys should do what we did.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great idea.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not the original. I'm pre-gaming. We're not.
We were already pre-gaming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just have to say that I'm here in my office where we usually record, and you're at home. We are safely social distancing, and this is being brought to you by the freaking super technological advancements of me putting a microphone in front of my phone while I'm watching Carlene over Facebook Messenger.
We're super technical.
I just spent like a day and a half trying to figure out the whole Skype thing, and it kept on cutting out, and it also just kept on just shutting down out of nowhere. So I was like, that's not gonna work.
Do you know that when I talk to people I could be doing FaceTime with people, and it'll cut out and it's poor quality, and we hop over to this Facebook Messenger and we don't have any interruptions, and it's really good quality.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's much better.
It's a lifesaver.
So our sound quality's not going to be perfect this episode, but hey, we're recording.
It's an escape.
We're doing our best.
It's an escape, and I'm going to tell you, I'm super excited about mine. I'm going to I need to shut my door more because they keep getting a little loud out there.
Okay.
So give me a second.
All right, go for it.
All right, how am I doing? Good now?
You look great. You look great.
I got my drink.
White Vic, you got your
Yeah.
drink? I got my drink. I'm drinking Blue Moon Belgian White. What are you drinking?
A whiskey and lemon.
Whiskey. Whiskey sour?
It's a whiskey 7. It's that same whiskey that we had.
Mmm.
It's delicious. You know, one night I just had it on some ice because you and I did that.
Right.
And it's a really good, cheap whiskey.
It is. It's actually really good.
It's not cheap. It's a reasonable. It's not expensive by all means, but it's as good as like a Jameson or I think I got it at Costco. Well, isn't it
Costco has good
Evans or
whiskey.
something like that?
Costco brand or is it Costco brand?
No, it's not a Costco brand. Not an expensive one, but I could probably pass it off as an expensive one.
You probably could.
I look like I'm all boob right here. I could just set this bad boy on my
I
shelf.
have the blue ball, whatever. The blue ball. The microphone is in front of your boobs so that it can hear you. So I can't even see boob. I just see your face. You're like from neck up.
Right there?
That's all I see.
All right, girl. Well,
all right. Should we
let's take a swig
right into it?
and dive in.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my story. So kind of going back to by the way, thank you for everybody that went on to Patreon and listened to the continuation of our last episode. And if you haven't, don't forget.
Did we have a lot of people?
Yeah. I think we have a very captive audience right now because nobody can go anywhere. But we had a lot of listens.
Tell your friends. I hope we're interesting. Listen, that last episode, we could probably do a whole nother episode or two, same subject.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was a fun subject.
It was fun.
Oh, yeah, baby.
All right, so now we're back to murder.
Murder.
Red rum.
Hey, yours is kind of yours is kind of appropriate if people are watching that Tiger whatever.
Have you watched it? I haven't watched it yet.
What's that? Okay, so
Tiger King?
Everybody in my family, Tiger King. Everybody in my family is watching it. They're all talking about it. Everybody in the world's talking about it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. And it got to like the 3rd or 4th episode, I can't remember. And it got to a point, like, I cannot watch what they do to those cats. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
I had to take a break because they think they're being so humane and they are assholes to those cats and it pisses me off. I don't like to see any animal in a cage, period.
Right.
I can't. So I'm taking a break because it was really affecting me.
So is it like a whole series or is it just one show?
No, it's a series. There's like episode 1, 2, 3, and so when you first are watching it, you're like, wow, that person's an asshole. He's weird. You have your opinions, blah, blah, blah. And you're kind of like, you probably don't like what's going on, but I think it's more like the human aspect of it,
right,
of like how they treat human beings more. But then you start to see it's really fucked up. It's a fucked up thing. And I can't even believe it's allowed to happen in the United States. It's just disgusting.
Maybe I won't watch it. I've got so many things that I'm binging on right now. We're watching Ozark. Ozark just came back. Do you want to?
I like that. That one I had to take a break from because it kind of I started to get bored from it.
Oh, this season is pretty good.
Is it? Okay,
yeah,
I'll have to get back in it.
Yeah, we're almost done with it.
If I start to get... Oh, are you?
Yeah.
So it's good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, if I start to get frustrated with characters, I'm like, I have to take a break.
Sometimes they like just do stuff that like makes me so nervous that I have to walk out of the room like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this.
Yeah. I hate stupid people moves, and so when you put that as a character, or like I don't know, when they tell the kid not to get out of the car and then the kid runs and gets out of the car after they said stay here, and then the kid's like, no, I think I'll get out of the car. That's it, I'm over it. I do. I'm like
I want to spank you right now.
I'll tell you what. Yeah.
Damn
that
kid.
was so dumb. Why'd you write that in?
Freaking Carl.
It's irritating. No, you're the reason why that guy got shot because you couldn't stay in the car, you little asshole.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna say anything about.
All right, so go, girl.
Anyway, so like my story, have you ever
Oh,
heard
you're not going to tell me about Ozark? Is that what you
Oh, no, because
Did you just
everybody's
say...
still watching it. I don't want to give any spoilers. Everybody's, because it just barely came
No,
out.
yeah.
So I'm not going to say
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, and I haven't started it.
Yeah.
I don't even think I finished one yet.
I will tell you that Wendy Bird,
Mm-hmm.
she's fucking driving me crazy. I just want to choke the shit out of her.
She was driving me crazy in one.
Right. Yeah, well, she's back to
in the
driving
first
me crazy.
season.
But it's really good.
Mm.
It really is. Alrighty.
Okay, girl.
So I'm going to jump
Let's
right
hear
into
about
it.
your murder story.
All right. Well, I don't know if it's a murder story. Like, I don't even know what to call it.
Oh, that's why I said,
Well,
because it's in Oklahoma, right?
Right, it's in Oklahoma.
That's why I said it's appropriate, because this tiger thing, I think that's all in Oklahoma.
Oh, is it too?
And I'm like, that's appropriate. Yeah, because everybody's talking about this tiger, what did we call it? Tiger King? Is that what we said?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I brought it up. I'm sorry. It's because your story has to do with Oklahoma.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you.
I'm going to call this the Jamison family disappearance. This is one of those stories that makes you scratch your head. Like, big time.
Ooh.
Big
I
time.
love your stories. I don't know how you freaking find them, but you come up with some good ones.
All right.
If people don't listen just for that, they're crazy.
All right. So on October 8th, 2009, Bobby, his wife Cheryl Lynn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madison Jamison got in their truck and headed into the mountains and mysteriously disappeared and were never heard from again.
What year was it? I'm sorry.
2009.
Holy crap! This is really recent.
Yeah, it's super recent.
10 years.
Yeah.
11 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Girl, I'm going to need another drink.
I'm going to need a few drinks. All right. Their locked pickup truck was discovered within a few days, abandoned in Latimer County, Oklahoma, along with their... What is that? Were you slurping right now? I totally heard that.
No, I just go... I didn't think you'd hear me go...
I totally heard it. All right, so their locked pickup truck was discovered within a few days, abandoned in Latimer County, Oklahoma, along with their malnourished, near-to-death dog Maisie, who was still in the truck.
Whoa!
Yeah. Also in the truck were the Jamisons' IDs, mobile phones, a GPS system, their wallets, and a plastic bag with $32,000 cash.
Okay, so it wasn't a robbery.
Apparently not.
Is it? It's UFOs.
Look, it gets weirder. All right.
Okay.
So
what are they doing driving around with all that cash?
So there's a lot of theories out there. They were actually looking to buy some property to move their, one of those container homes.
Okay.
I don't know if they were like off the grid types or what, but they just like, yeah, they weren't your everyday Joes.
Evidently.
So one of the theories is that they had that amount of cash with them because they were going to put a down payment on something, or they were ready to put cash on a property or something. So that was one of the theories that was floated around out there. But
I mean, maybe they just didn't believe. Maybe they didn't believe in banks, and they're not your average Joes, and they were off the grid.
Right.
That was their bank.
It could be.
I don't know.
So there was no trace of them, and no bodies were found in the search that ensued. Initially, authorities surmised that they had vanished of their own accord, so that they made themselves disappear, like they faked their own death or whatever.
They wouldn't. Oh, they wouldn't have left all that cash.
Yeah, exactly. It always comes down to the cash for me. Like, who would leave?
Yeah, because they wouldn't need that.
Yeah. So then a huge search effort of the mountainous area was conducted by the local police department. They found nothing. Among other items found in their truck was a photo of Madison taken the day before they actually disappeared in Bobby's phone. So, and that's a widely circulated picture of her, and it just, I don't know. For me, it's a kind of an eerie picture because it's her last picture, and it's also she looks uncertain. She looks scared. It doesn't look, I don't know. You'd have to see it. You can decide. But to me, she just looks like, I don't know. Of course, I'll put it up on Instagram and Facebook and on the website.
I'm not leaving you. Keep talking.
Okay.
Keep
you're
talking.
turning off your
I
camera?
can hear you.
Oh, I just see your pretty face. It's a picture. It's your Facebook picture. Your cover picture.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the Jamisons were looking to purchase a 40-acre plot of land near Red Oak, near where they were found, about 30 miles away from their home in Eufaula. The plan was to live in a storage shed that the family already owned, like I was telling you earlier.
Right.
A car accident in 2003 had left Bobby with chronic back pain, which affected his mood, probably because of the painkillers he had to take. And Sherilyn She was bipolar, and she was also on prescription drugs. However, according to sources, she sometimes opted not to take them, which is not good for bipolar disorder.
No, like they're just kind of like a mess, aren't they?
Yeah. So the case went cold until November 16, 2013. So just remember, this was like the beginning was 2009, October 2009. So it was cold until November 16, 2013. So about 4 years later. That day, just 3 miles from where the truck was found, 3 miles, 4 years earlier, hunters stumbled upon the partial skeletal remains of 2 adults and 1 female child.
What? Wait a minute. Okay, so it's a skeleton though.
Yeah,
So it's not them.
It's them.
It's somebody who's been there for a while. It's what?
It's them. This is 4 years later.
Oh, 4 years later.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said days. Okay. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, but just like 3 miles. Only 3 miles from where their truck was.
So wait, was a search not done? A search was done.
Supposedly there was a thorough search, so I don't know.
Okay, not thorough enough.
Well, it was like, it's a mountainous region, so like, I don't know. I don't know how easy everything was to get to, you know. But, yeah.
Oh, man, this is juicy. This is juicy.
No. Hold on to your pants, girl. It's going to get juicier.
I'm glad I'm tucked in my bed right now.
Is that where you're at? You're in your room? You're all comfy. I was wondering, are the walls in there, are they like a purple color? Or is that gray?
Yeah.
It looks purple.
No, like it's a purple. Like it's a very...
Lavender?
Very... Yeah, it's a cool purple. It's not purple. It's like
it's not purple.
Like a very calm. It's a calm purple.
It's purple.
It's purple.
It's purple. It's not
like a very. It's like a very mellow purple.
I like it. All right, so where
like
was I?
Yeah, you're right. Like a purple with like a gray in it, and then I have gray curtains and stuff.
Aww.
I have the softest gray blanket known to man.
Nice. Don't fall asleep on me then.
Oh, no.
All right. So they found these skeletal remains. Forensic testing proved that they were the skeletons of the Jamison family, but due to the state of the decomposition, the cause of death could not be determined for any of them. Although I did read somewhere that the dad had like a big hole in their head that was unexplained. Yeah. So if forensics, I think they would be able to tell you forensically if it was a bullet hole, but they weren't able to really explain it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The police went back into the case, of course, and first they uncovered a strange, this surprises me that like 4 years later that they're barely go in and uncover this video, strange security video taken outside of the Jamison home the night they left. In the video, the couple is seen going back and forth between the house and the truck, and by one account, at least 20 trips were made back and forth, packing up their belongings, taking stuff back into the house. The eerie thing was that they would stop for long periods, seemingly staring into space as if in a trance-like state. And they would put items in the truck, then take them out. In all of this video footage, they don't seem to interact with one another at all.
You know what I had a visual of is that movie where they have the doppelganger.
Which one?
That movie where there's like a doppelganger. So they're in the house and they're like watching TV or whatever, and then outside is the doppelgangers of them, you know, the lookalikes, and then they're like trying to kill them or something. I don't know what the name of the movie is.
I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're.
It looks scarier and shit, but. You know.
Well, that was really weird. And they also changed their clothes several times while they're doing it. Yeah, it was really weird.
Okay,
really weird.
What is going on?
Yeah. So, as if that weren't strange enough, prior to their disappearance, Bobby and Dale had gone to Bobby Dale. His name is Bobby Dale. Bobby Dale Jamison. Sorry.
Then you know how you have to say it. You gotta say Bobby Dale.
Yeah.
Bobby Dale.
Ricky Bobby. Bobby Dale. All right. Sorry.
Thank you, baby Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus. I want to thank our baby Jesus in his little crib.
So he'd gone to his pastor.
Shake and bake.
What did you say? Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
He'd gone to his pastor and claimed that his home was haunted, saying that he had 2 to 4 ghosts on the roof. At one point, he asked the pastor if he knew anywhere he could purchase special bullets to shoot a handful of spirits. Special bullets?
It is
spirit bullets? Special spirit bullets?
There's no spirit bullets.
Special...
I'm sorry, there's no such thing.
I was going to ask you, Carlene, do you know of any special spirit bullets that can shoot a ghost?
No such thing. A silver bullet in the shape of I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What dipped in holy water?
Yeah, really weird.
That is
He
so
said that they were living on his
creepy.
roof, which this reminds me of something else, and I'll get into that later because there is a correlation to me and something personal.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
You just opened the door, girl.
I did. All right.
Now I'm curious.
And okay, and then little Madison, she had an imaginary friend named Emily that her mother believed to be a malevolent spirit. Friends and family even attested to having witnessed hauntings in the home.
Stop it.
Yeah. Okay. But this is a true crime story, so we're gonna put that aside. So even
you got true crime and ghosts going on, girl. Yeah. You got the whole caboodle.
Well, and it all adds for a very interesting story.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
Sherilyn apparently had also purchased a satanic Bible, supposedly as a joke.
What? Okay, what the hell? What kind of joke is that?
Yeah, very weird. I don't think it was a joke. However,
no, I don't think so either.
Bobby confessed to his pastor that he had read it. Of course, he had to confess to his pastor. This led some to believe that witchcraft may have been a reason to their deaths. Also in the video, it could be seen that graffiti had been sprayed on the side of the storage container that they were going to move. Sherilyn had told neighbors she believed she was a witch and that these were important self-protective messages that were spray painted all over this storage container. So they were supposed to protect her. So it was, I don't know if it was like some sort of enchantment. I don't know. Whatever. Like, I have no idea. I did see pictures.
Well, you did?
Yeah. It was just weird messages. Weird stuff. I'll have to post
insane. It. Ooh, that's insane. I'm still here. Keep talking.
All right.
You're gonna see my thing again.
I see your pretty face again. A friend of Sherilyn's told the police that she sometimes conducted seances with Sherilyn, though Sherilyn took them much more seriously than she did. And Sherilyn's mother also believed that the Jamisons were mixed up with the cult and possibly murdered by members of the cult. But there's no evidence of this at all. It's just based on stuff her mom said.
Right.
And then another theory, it's a little bit more down to earth but less comforting, was that it was possible that it was a murder-suicide.
Oh, well, I mean, especially if somebody's
they're
dabbling
struggling
in the,
Well, one, somebody's on painkillers. That changes his mood and makes him angry. Another person's bipolar that's not always taking their medication. They've got spiritual warfare going
supernatural.
on. Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
They found an angry 11-page letter written by Sherilyn to Bobby. I should have put some of the contents, but it was pretty angry. And 11 pages in handwriting. That's pretty angry.
Do you remember any of it?
No, not really. One of them was like it was just like she was rebuking him, like, you know, I can't raise a daughter with somebody that could possibly go to jail. It was.
Okay, so was their money dirty? Was that cash dirty?
Nobody knows.
Because why is she talking about going to jail?
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm super excited about your story.
Oh no! This led the authorities to speculate that Bobby had driven his family into the woods, murdered them, but it's a theory that can't be proven. There's no evidence.
Wait a minute. How could that be? They found two adult bodies, right?
2 adult bodies and a child. And they're all the Jamisons. They've already been forensically analyzed. They're all.
So how could he have killed her?
Unless it was a murder-suicide. But nobody found a gun. There's no weapon found, so.
No, that theory doesn't even make sense. What makes sense is if he was into something dirty and somebody else like followed them out there or like there was a trap.
Which leads me to my next theory that is out there.
Go.
They considered that Bobby's father, Bob Dean Jamison, had somehow been involved. There was apparently bad blood between them, and Bobby had filed an order of protection. There was also a lawsuit that he'd filed against him because his dad had tried to run him over the year before. Actually, hit him with the car.
Oh my God, that's attempted murder.
Yeah. And on the order of protection,
Or did you already say that? Attempted murder.
Well, yeah, I guess you could call that attempted murder.
Yeah.
So a quote that got pulled out of the protective order stated that Bob Dean was a very dangerous man who thinks he's above the law and was involved with prostitutes, gangs, and meth. And I did see, like, one of the articles mentioned that he might have been involved with the Mexican cartel. This is making me think of Ozark.
Oh, they would have taken the money, though.
Yeah, exactly. Also, going back over the whole him striking him with his vehicle in November 2008. However, Bob Dean died a couple months after the family went missing and had been in poor health for a while, and police didn't think that he was involved. So, I don't know. That's still out there. That's still in speculation. Still another theory out there, and this one to me seems the most plausible, that the Jamisons were, like you were just saying, involved in dealing drugs, which explains the large amount of cash that was found in the vehicle. Even their family was baffled as to how they came up with that amount of cash, as both of them were on disability.
What?
Yeah. Also, they were said to have been bone thin right before they disappeared, so they were both emaciated. Another thing that was brought up was that that area that they were in was like there was heavy meth use, so that theory was out there as well, although, like,
I'm surprised.
Their parents are no.
You know what, though? Because if that's the case, they probably wouldn't have had that lot of money.
Right.
Because it would have been spent on the drugs.
Could be, unless they stole it from somebody.
But they could have stolen it, and then they could have stole it from somebody, and then that somebody. But again, the money got left. That's the big.
Yeah, it always circles back to the money. The motive is
the
weird.
Money, everything. Yes, I mean, because the money got left, so that's the stickler.
Right. Although family and friends found it hard to fathom that they would take their daughter out on such an errand, but my personal thing is that if you're on drugs, you don't care. You don't care.
No,
all that stuff,
they don't. No, it's
dealing
all about
personally
themselves.
with people in my life that have been on drugs, they just don't care. They lose all sense of propriety and what's right and what's wrong.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I was going to circle back to that whole thing now that we discussed the whole meth use. Somebody that I love, very dear to me, I'm just not going to put their name out there, but they were on meth for a long time, and he would imagine that people were in the attic, living in the attic, and he was arguing with everybody that lived in the house, like swearing up and down that people were living in the attic. So that just brings me back to the whole, there's ghosts in my house, there's ghosts living in the roof thing.
Right, yes. They get very paranoid. I mean, I know someone who they think there's aliens that are looking in their window, that come and, look in their windows, that live in lamps, and it's bizarre how they think.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they truly, truly believe all that.
Right.
People are listening. Yeah. It's crazy talk, but they believe it.
So to this day, this hasn't been solved. It's not cut and dry by any means, and it's a crazy story.
You are not telling me that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
Alma, wait, this is a record.
This is a record. I totally condensed. So if you guys wanted
a long story.
Well, you said that you had a long story, so I was like, I'm going to keep it short.
This is a good story, though. I like your story a lot because it leaves us hanging still.
Yeah, there's just no end. There's no real closure to it. They're just.
So you said they went to the mountain. That's where they were disappeared.
Right. Yep.
Do you know what mountains they disappeared to?
I thought I wrote it down, and I can't look at my phone right now.
Oh. You'll have to know, because maybe there's a story in that. I wonder if there's other disappearances that happen in those mountains.
I don't know, but you would think that they would mention it in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe.
I mean, if anybody wants to do a deep dive on this, there's more than enough information out there. Disappeared did an episode called Paradise Lost. BuzzFeed Unsolved also did one. There's a bunch of Reddits out there discussing it. I pulled stuff from Wikipedia, from Reddit, and there was also a blog out there called The True Crime Times, written by Julie Fiddler, and she did a really good deep dive into all the speculation. That was my story. It's crazy.
You can make up so many theories on that. It's so fascinating.
I know, especially when you're the Satanic Bible, that there were ghosts in the house. Just their strange.
Yeah, that's just bizarre.
Yeah, the strange behavior in the video that they uncovered. It's just so, it's weird.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, but The money was left in the vehicle, so like it kind of like makes you rule out that it was a robbery or it was some sort of gang vendetta or why would, and the vehicle was locked. Poor Maisie. Thank God they found that dog. She was hanging on a thread when they found her.
I'm glad the dog survived.
I'm always glad the dog survives. In every movie that I watch, as long as the dog survives, I'm okay.
Oh, I'm not kidding.
You can hear my dogs crying in the background.
Oh, the puppies. How are the puppies and the dogs? Since I don't get to see them.
They're so good. They're feeling better.
How's the pile of shit?
It has alleviated from last weekend. Last weekend was probably the worst weekend ever.
Okay, the best visual for me, though, it was pretty funny, is you like, this is what we're dealing with. And I'm like, I am only getting the best visual in my life. It's like, you guys pick it. Okay, the best thing is, you're cleaning up shit. And then the dogs, because the dogs are covered in shit, then they're in the bathroom with Albert, who's, I'm assuming, giving them a bath while you're cleaning up the big piles of shit, right?
Right.
And then you say, Albert comes out and he's helping you because now the puppies are clean, but they're locked in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Only for you guys to go clean that up and go and get the clean puppies that are no longer clean because now the bathroom's full of shit.
Right.
Am I right?
Yep. So, yeah, we had sick puppies.
Story ever.
We had sick puppies. They had some, I guess they're like parasites or something. So they were on like treatments of antibiotics, and we were giving them pumpkin and chicken and rice.
I thought pumpkin makes them poop though.
It goes both ways. It can go either way. It's
kind of like, so it's just good for their tummy.
Yeah, it's good for their tummies. It settles their tummies down. So my smart self, I was so smart. I decided I was going to give them dog food, like regular puppy food, the day before because they'd already been like, their stomachs seemed fine, but they were still taking the course of the antibiotics. Apparently their stomachs were not fine. So we woke up on Saturday morning to a complete nightmare.
Yeah. A shit fest.
A shit fest. A literal shit fest. A literal shit fest.
I just want to, I thank you for the visual. It wasn't my house, so I can laugh. It's almost as good as getting the finger in the bath water with the...
Oh my God, I feel like I'm always dealing with tiny little beans and shit. Poop. Yeah, there's always poop somewhere around.
You got... I love it. I love it. Well, you can laugh at me when I have my grandkids. And you're going to be like, I already went through that, Carlene. You're welcome.
Speaking of grandkids, I get to babysit my grandchild coming up here pretty quick.
What?
Tomorrow.
You do? Oh, little bug, he's growing so fast.
Yeah, my daughter starts work tomorrow. She starts training at Discover.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good place to work.
To watch
good job for her. I'm glad for her. That's awesome.
Yep. I'm proud of her.
Oh, that's going to be so fun. You're going to have them to yourself, pretty much. I mean, you and Albert.
Yeah.
Unless Albert's at work.
No, Albert's work is trickling in. It's like some days he's home a little earlier than normal, but so far so good. I'm going to knock on wood right now.
I love it.
We're considered essential.
Are you ready for... Oh, are you?
Yeah. So if anybody needs any touch-ups or paint work, we come to you. Touch-up team. I am going to need him for Ellie's hood of her car. You guys, listen. Touch-up. Is that the name of your guys' touch-up team? Touch-up team.
Yeah. Say it again.
The touch-up team.
Touch-up team.
In Arizona.
Anyway, they're freaking fabulous. But Allie her hood is gray. She's going to want that painted. I'll have to set something up. And I think the roof of my car, the paint's messed up on my truck, and I need to get that. I need to ask Albert if he can check it out for me and maybe paint it so I don't want my truck rusting,
Right. Yeah,
so I need to know if he can fix that up for me. Do it, people. That's who you want to talk to.
Yep, we're mobile, so if you're stuck at home, we can come to you.
And you don't have to have contact with them. So as long as we're plugging people.
Thing. Yeah, exactly. Who are you going to plug? Who are you going to plug?
Myself. You don't have to have contact with me either.
Exactly. They can call you over the phone.
Yep.
Or we can we're doing Facebook Messenger here.
Facebook, everything I do in person, I can do Facebook Messenger, video, FaceTime, even Skype that I didn't even know I had. Until me and you were doing this, because it was under a weird name, but Yeah.
And what was that weird name?
Or
what was that weird name?
I'm not giving it out. It's my famous undercover name.
When I saw it, I busted out laughing.
Oh yeah. All right. Anyway, okay. You ready for me?
Yep, I'm ready. And go.
Okay. I wanted to say it so bad, so you said it. My story is on the Pokomoke Forest.
Hmm?
Pokomoke. Pokomoke.
Pokomoke.
It's
Where
just
is this?
fun to say.
Where is this? Yeah, it is.
Pokomoke. It's in Maryland.
Oh. I feel like on the East Coast, they have like the craziest names of places. Pokomoke.
Yeah, they do. And I think this is also has some like obviously some native Indian type background, but I didn't dig into that. We're not going there.
Okay.
But I mean, just the name Pokomoke kind of makes it sound Pokomoke. I like that name. It's
Do you know what boogers?
Pokomoke.
You know what boogers are called in Spanish? Well, I guess it's slang.
What?
Mocos.
Oh, mocos. Yeah, my aunt used to always, oh, you have a moco in your nose.
Yeah, Pokomoke. Pokomoko.
Mocos, and then my daughter hates it when I say, "Are you going caca?" My aunt, you got mocos, and are you going caca? Those are two things that she would always say. So now I say it. But my daughter hates it when I say caca. So I'm like, what? Shit, poop, Hirsch, what?
Hirsch. Hershey squirts.
Hershey. Hershey squirts.
Okay.
Hershey's. Okay, now to work.
Sorry to anybody that's eating Hershey right now.
Or eating at all.
Exactly. We've been talking a lot of shit. Sorry.
That was a good one. I got a lot of my information. Well, first of all, it all started with that CJ Faison, watching his video. Because shit got crazy, and there were two forest stories that I was torn between. We couldn't get actual stuff on, so I went to the Pokomoke Forest, where I can actually get stories that, I don't know if they're factual. There's a lot of stories, so I was able to get it. But I got from CJ Faison, and then there's Omar. All these guys do YouTube stuff in this forest. There's Omar, there's this guy Mo, and Sunny Deebs. Okay, so now I got all those guys plugged. And then where I got off the web, it's called Graveyard Shift, the website. But a lot of the stories I got just from listening to CJ, because he would tell a story, and then it may not happen on that YouTube, whatever he was doing, cast or whatever, but then if he went again with like the group of guys, some crazy shit would happen. And I had Aiden's friend Zach was watching it with me today, and I'm like, it seems pretty legit. Like, they can't be making this stuff up. If they are, it's very elaborate, and they're very good actors. Right. It just can't be fake. Anyway, okay. They say it's probably one of the most scary forests in Maryland, at least, because they have this other forest, Eleanor Forest. Eleanor Forest is, the story behind that one is that these people ended up kidnapping, they were at a convenience store or something, and kidnapped this lady's bee, and then ran into the forest, go to the forest, and she got in her car and chased them down. And by the time she got there, it was too late. They had already, because there's a lot of rituals in both of these forests. Really? And in Eleanor Forest, the woman's name actually was Eleanor. I guess that's why it's called Eleanor Forest. And in that forest, they already had sacrificed her baby, and she never came out of the forest. So I guess she was murdered, or I don't know what happened to her. So there's all these tales of hearing, baby crying and a mother. Anyway, there's all those tales. And so I was going to do it on that, but I couldn't find the facts behind that story. Okay. But it sounded pretty crazy. So then I ended up watching more YouTube stuff, and then CJ was going into the forest, this Pokomoke Forest, that had all this, I feel like I'm saying Pokemon. Anyway. Pikachu. Anyway, going into... Anyway, so, but I will say, if you watch his channel and you watch the ones where he's in Eleanor Forest, it's freaky shit happens there. And I'm telling you, There's no way. There's one where this, because they said, I think that's the one where like somebody was assaulted, and you could hear a woman blood curdling screaming.
Really?
And yeah, oh my God, it's
Wow.
legit. And they are freaked out. And then they're like, we have to call 911. I mean, we have to. And so they're trying to figure out, like, how do we tell the police where it's at, blah, blah, blah. With Pokemon, I can't even say it now. I'm getting drunk. Anyway. All right, because I'll come back to that because I'm going to talk about this forest and the screaming. Anyway, this forest is full of, it's so full of trees. Like, it's really thick with trees. And then there's a ghost town in there. There's swamps. There's a winding black river. It's like just a river that goes through the whole thing. They also, the citizens, I guess, have paid for this path now that's like it's like a deck, and it's really cool because it's almost like you're walking in a tree house because you're like at the mid-tree level, and you could just walk through the forest on this. But anyway, the forest is deep, and it's huge, and there's like an east side and a west side, and it's crazy. Anyway, some even say that UFOs have been seen there. I know, right? Okay, so I'm going to give you a few of the stories that happened there. According to one legend, a young couple in like the 60s, way back in the 60s, they were driving down one of the dark roads in the forest when they ran out of gas. Oh, this is a creepy one. They ran out of gas. Okay, the boyfriend.
Like a horror story. The beginning of a horror story.
Yeah. You know what? These stories make me think of Friday the 13th. They do. It's crazy. Okay, so the boyfriend's like, tells the girlfriend, you stay here, lock the doors. I'm going to go and see if I can find some. So she's scared, and she's hearing all kinds of crazy noises on the car and stuff, but eventually, she's there for so long, she eventually falls asleep. She's hearing, like, noises on the roof of the car. She's just like, and you know how, like, you how you're, like, you can freak yourself out, so you, like, probably think you're hearing noises. I wonder if that's, like, she was probably doing that.
Right.
But anyway.
Have you ever been camping? Because animals make some very freaky
crazy
noises. Like sometimes they sound like people screaming. Like they make some weird ass noises, especially in the middle of the night where it's like you're in the sound box where you can hear
everything. Yes. It's crazy. So anyway, before she knew it, I guess she had fallen asleep because she was there for so long. And then the sun came up, and she realized she had fallen asleep. So she's like, it's been here, I've been here for a long time. He hasn't come back. The sun's up. You always feel safer when the sun comes up.
Right.
So she opened her car door, and got out to go look for her boyfriend or go look for help herself. And on the back, trunk, on the trunk of the car, her boyfriend's head was on the back of the car.
Is this a true story? What?
It says it is. It's like legend says, but it's supposed to be a true story. And then they say the noises that she's hearing on the roof of her car, that she thought, like you think you're making this up. He was hanging by his feet, and it was his body that was swaying back and forth on the roof of the car. And then, on the trunk, you could see, where he was fighting and his nails were scraping.
This sounds like a campfire story, I swear.
Yes! I'm not kidding. All these do, but it's crazy. Okay, so, the legend is, the card, I'm not even reading, I'm just going based on memory. Okay, so, there's a reason, oh, shit. Okay, so, this is what they say, that there's a man out there who protects the forest, who's I don't know if this is the one. Okay, let's just remember that story. I'm not going to finish it yet. Remember that one story, because
there's the forest.
It could be that the man that protects the forest ended up murdering him.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. He could have thought that they were up to no good. Because there's a couple, there's a couple of stories like that. Anyway, this one is about, they call it the field trip, and it's when a bus driver decided to take a busload of students on a shortcut through the Pokomoke Forest, and then they say things went downhill after that. After getting out of, there was some engine trouble, and the bus driver got out to figure out like what's going on. So he got out to look at it.
Right.
He went to check on the engine trouble, and the driver was never seen again. How does that happen? Like, there's a teacher in there. There's all the students. How do they not see? Like, he gets out to look at the engine, and then how does he just disappear and they never see him again?
That sounds like Jeepers Creepers.
Okay, so the sounds, yeah. So listen, the sounds of people walking on top of the bus, as well as ghoulish faces in the windows, terrified the students.
What the fuck?
Okay, so clearly the forest is haunted.
Clearly.
And they're seeing all this weird shit. The teacher had.
Or they all just dropped acid.
They all just dropped some acid, or they're inhaling some bad fumes. Okay, but this one doesn't make much sense, because if they're stuck in the forest and the guy gets out to check the in, how is she gonna get them? She has them put the windows up, and then only to find, so she gets out and she goes to check, like, where's the driver, and she finds the skeleton of the driver in front of the bus. But then this says the teacher quickly drove all the students back to school. But then why did they stop in the first place if they could have just drove away?
Right.
So that story doesn't make much sense. Okay, so here's another story. Another legend has it.
Okay. All in the Pokomoke.
Okay.
All in the Pokomoke.
All in Pokemon. And this isn't even all the stories. There's like many more, but I wasn't going to write them all down. All right. Okay. Now, some of these, though, are pretty, like, they're repeated, and they're very, like, the people in the area are very, like, no, this is, like, the history. So this is the cellar house. There's a cellar house, and it's, okay.
You said this is in Maryland?
Yeah. And this is about the cellar house on the Pokomoke River. Remember I said there was a river that wound through it?
Right.
And it has a number of colorful legends and tragic ghost stories. This one is about a six-fingered sea captain. This is a pretty elaborate story.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Listen. Who, according to legend, made a fortune smuggling and used the money to build this cellar house as a gift for his bride.
Okay.
But listen, this bride, she was kind of a bitch, because she's like, thanks, but no thanks, I'm going to cheat on you. So he went on this long voyage, and while he's on the voyage, she falls in love with somebody else and then gets pregnant by him.
What?
And yeah, now that doesn't seem so far-fetched to me.
Skis.
And then she, obviously she's kind of afraid, so she fled and gave birth in another village. To this other man's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then she eventually tries to return to the captain in need of his help. And so,
trying to say, you the daddy?
Yeah, I'm assuming she probably needed money. And while sailing back, so I'm assuming she's going down the river, sailing back to his house, the cellar house, somehow her baby ended up falling overboard.
Aww.
I know, but how did that happen? I don't understand.
It's a newborn baby? Like, what? I mean, was it just a little tiny boat? Like, were they going through rough water?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they're going, it's down a river, and maybe the boat was swaying, I guess. Anyway, the baby accidentally drowned, and when she finally made it, okay, this is what's tragic. Besides the dying, that's really sad. But she finally makes it to the cellar house. He grabs her by the hair. He yanks her up the stairs. He stabbed her to death. Like, you bitch, you think you're going to come back here and ask for my help? Fuck you. You betrayed me. So it's said to this day, both the cries of the bride and the baby can be heard near the house along the river. Okay, this is her blood stains. Okay, do you remember that story I did where they were, I don't know, didn't I do this story? Where there was like the blood, they would clean
wash it away. It kept coming back.
Yes. Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, her blood still stains the floor, even though they've replaced the floor and everything. Where she was murdered, even after renovating the cellar house and replacing the floor, it had not eradicated. Also, okay, it's also sad that cars that are parked near the Pokomoke Pokemon Road, the Pokemon Woods. if people that park by the river often have the captain's distinctive six-fingered handprint on them. Okay, did I do the story on the? Remember, I think it was early on that I did on the bridge. Didn't I do a story on some bridges?
The crybaby bridges.
And that people, yes, and people would park their cars, and then handprints or footprints would be on the. Okay, that's what that reminded me of. Okay, so the crazy thing about this, I might be skipping ahead, but I wanted to about the lady screaming.
Right.
When CJ and Sunny were at this, they went out together. Well, CJ went out by himself, but I'll talk about that later. He went out, he was like, took Sunny with him. It's scary. And they weren't even out there that long before, far in a distance. This is what I was saying with like Zach. I'm like, there's no way they could have staged that because the screams were so far away. Kind of like Eleanor Forrest, but this was like, there was blood-curdling screams in the forest. And when they left, they like bolted out of that forest and they were like, we are doing our civic duty. We're going to call 911 because if somebody is being hurt out there, we want to make sure that we call it in. We don't want to just like leave somebody being hurt. But also these forests, both Eleanor and the Pokomoke, whatever, forest. I'm so messed up, and I've had a lot of whiskey. They're both known for a lot of the satanic rituals and stuff. Are you laughing at me?
Yeah.
They're both known for satanic rituals being done there. So, and even CJ went to one, he didn't even have to walk that far before there was a ritual spot. It was a small one. And they've even been kind of chased by people doing rituals. So there's a lot of crazy shit happening in these forests. And so for all they knew, there was somebody being burned at a stake. I don't know. And so they made sure to call 911 after they got off camera. So they definitely weren't staging that. It was real.
That's
but
creepy.
Was it an actual person, or was it the wife of the sailor that was screaming? Was it a ghost wife singing, screaming bloody murder? Because people report hearing it. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. What was it?
To me, that's a good one. Anyway, we don't know. I guess we'll never know. I'm going to blow my nose real quick. Okay. All right, here's another story. I feel like we should be sitting in front of a campfire. Or like I shut my lights off and tell these stories. Okay, so here's another one. A young couple had gone to Pokomoke. Oh, yeah, okay. So this young couple is driving down the dark street, because they're going to find a place to park, make out, have sex, whatever. When a bulletin, this one's going to come into play when I tell you about one of CJ's adventures. And I need you guys to go and watch these YouTubes and tell me if you think it's real. If this shit's real, because some of it creeped the crap out of me. Anyway, so they're finding a place to park. When it came over the radio that there was a guy, an inmate, it says a very unique inmate, had escaped from the Cambridge State Hospital. He had thick black hair, a black beard, and a hook for a hand. They call him the Hook Man.
Is this I Know What You Did Last Summer?
No. His name is the what do you call him? Chipperock. What do they call him? Anyway, forget about it. All right, anyway. Gosh, I wish I knew what I was trying to say. I'm gonna have another drink.
Have another drink, Carlene. Have another drink.
Okay. I'm telling you, this thing is strong too, girl. All right. The woman demanded her boyfriend take her home. Well, yeah. I'd be like, get me the fuck out of here. I'm not gonna make out with you in this some deranged dillweed riding around. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway,
dry me right up. Sorry.
I'm like, okay. As they were leaving, they heard strange noises near the car. When the couple got out to investigate, they found a fallen hook on the ground. Mm-hmm. That's not that scary. It's scary, but it's not that scary. Okay, so there's a couple things though.
Well, I mean, if you know the backstory, if there's a story and you see a fallen hook on the ground, I guess it would make
That's scary.
Yeah.
But there's also the story set. There's versions of the story. Like when they pulled over, they got home, or there was a hook in the like somebody had tried to pry their door open as they were trying to leave. Mm-hmm. So like the hook is in the door. The hook is in like the gutter of the car. Like the gutter of the car or something. Anyway, there's all these different versions. Basically, The Hookman was trying to get them. This is the one that's the protector, and probably the one that is what they're saying, murdered those young kids that were trying to get gas.
Oh, okay.
Because he's the protector of the woods. So he has taken on the Hookman has taken on the job as protector of the forest, and he lurks there to this day, killing people who disturb the forest. Okay, this is the last one. So there was a church somewhere in that forest on that property, and they actually moved this church out, so it's still standing, but it's standing somewhere else. There was some kind of a unique, special kind of Bible, I don't know, that was in the church on the, what do they call it? What do they call it? Anyway.
On the podium?
On the podium or whatever. Anyway, anytime that people would try to take the Bible, because they're moving the church, so if you lifted the Bible up and you tried to move it, like they moved everything out of the church.
Right.
And if they tried to lift this Bible and move it towards the door, as they got closer to the door, the Bible gets so heavy they couldn't physically move it.
What? When was this?
Yeah, what? It didn't. None of these have dates.
No. That's weird.
Oh, wait. This says it's rumored that in the early days of the settlement, so the early days. So I'm probably guessing, like, what, the 1800s maybe?
Maybe.
Anyway, there were some people that were out, and that live in that area, and They were saying, like, that church actually does exist, and they did move it to another location, kind of like how we have in our village, like those buildings, some of them are original, some of them are replicas.
Right.
They just move them to different areas. So anyway, okay, so these are such scary, like, campfire stories. I'm not getting rid of these. Okay, so people have witnessed orbs, obviously, that I call energies. I don't want to be called an orb. And then mists and flashing light and shifting lights. And then they actually do ghost tours there because, people can get chased out by the police if they go there during the night. But on ghost tours, people have claimed to be touched, poked at, and tapped on the shoulder, and even, like, pulled, yanked on and knocked over and things like that. People, okay, so get this. I mean, these are, like, real accounts. This isn't like legend has it. These are real accounts. People have been known to see faceless humans. So they're like, oh, there's a person. Holy shit, they don't have a face.
Okay, that's creepy.
And shadows. Numerous ghosts are rumored to wander the forest, obviously. They say you can hear the baby crying and the woman screaming, which I told you about CJ and Sunny. And then, okay, so you guys need to YouTube, and you should YouTube this, Alma. Go and YouTube CJ the Forest or whatever. He's in a tent. So I think this one he just actually goes out on his own. There's one there where he's dared to go to the forest. This one he goes out on his own. He does some EVP type stuff, and he gets a couple things, nothing like ooh. And then he noticed there's somebody with a light. It's just one person, and all you see is the light, and, like, it clearly looks like they're following him.
Right.
And so he's, like, running and hiding and shuts off his lights and sits for, like, 20 minutes and then turns it on, and they're still there. And then he starts rationalizing it, where he's like, maybe it's a hunter and they're just looking for their deer, because that happens, and whatever. He's rationalizing. Then he starts using his spirit box, and then, oh my God, they're back. So he runs. Finally, he's like, I'm just going to go get in my tent. He goes and gets in his tent, and he starts using the spirit box. And as he's using his box, it's making that.
Oh, right.
So it's really loud.
Static,
So he can't hear if somebody's, like, approaching the tent. So next thing you know, oh my God, it even scared me when I was watching it. Somebody, like, it looks like somebody, like, pounds on his tent and, like, caves in a part of it, just, like, fucking with him.
Uh-huh.
And he makes it really clear, because, if he's got lots of fans. This guy, he's a NASCAR driver, does these YouTube channels, he does a bunch of other things. So if he was like, hey, this is where I'm going, and told fans, so he specifically did not tell people where he was going. And he hit his truck and everything. And also, I want to say, in this forest, there's a graveyard.
Oh.
It's like this very small graveyard, and there's, I want to say maybe 50 to 100, if there's even 100, I doubt it, these graves, and they're like from the 1800s, 1700s. I mean, they're old, and anywhere from babies that lived 3 days to people that are 70 and 80 years old. It's a cool thing. But anyway, so he's not far from this graveyard, and he goes and he camps out, and this happens. So somebody bangs on. So you got the guy following him. Then he's doing this thing. He feels safe, and all of a sudden that happens. He doesn't fucking leave. I'd be out of there so fast.
Right.
And he's like, right? And so he's like, okay. I'm not going to leave because I wuss out so often. He's like, okay, that could have been a log falling off a tree. And then he's like, and the guy in the forest, it could have been like a guy looking for his deer, and sometimes they do that. I don't know why, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to go to sleep, and you guys enjoy watching me freeze, So he records himself sleeping so that we can watch what happens during the night, right? So first you see him playing on his phone, and that's over. And then it's dark. You don't see anything. And you hear the leaves rustling. You hear somebody walking. He is out like a light. Like, he's not faking this. He did not stage it. It's been hours.
He's not even reacting.
No, he is out like a light. And so all of a sudden, you see the flashlight. Somebody comes in, looks in his tent at him sleeping, and then kind of hovers around for a second and then walks away.
Oh,
and
he
knows nothing of this. And he woke up the next morning. He's like, hey, guys and gals, blah, 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 blah. He's doing his thing, talking. And then he's like, okay, well, blah, blah, blah. And then he knows nothing until it's editing. And that could have been a week later, who knows when he did editing. And he flashes up this thing talking about how freaked out he was about, I was mortified after I saw this video. How freaked out would be, there's this story of this hook man that killed in the forest that he feels might be disrespecting the forest. And so maybe this guy was like making sure he wasn't disrespecting, and then like, oh, okay, dude, you're good. I'm just going to let him sleep.
Right. Yeah,
maybe it was
creepy. That's creepy.
Right? And if you know of legends, it makes the creep meter go up higher.
Exactly.
And then he did one where he had gone. There was another one that he did where he slept by himself because there was a challenge. Somebody challenged him. I don't know why he does. Anyway, you guys need to go and watch these. The whole series of all of them that he does at Pokomoke, because they're freaky, and most of it I think is because of all the ritual stuff. I think some of it. There's one where they're like haunting him, and you can hear them going. It's crazy stuff.
Right.
That one actually might be when somebody is at his house, and then there's like this forest they make him go to. It might be Pokomoke, I don't know. And they make him go out to this forest, and they're taunting him. It's crazy shit. But don't go to the forest alone. Don't go to the forest at night. Don't go camping.
Who goes to the forest alone? No.
I don't know, but after this, I'm not afraid of animals. I'm afraid of creepy ass people.
After this week, after this last few weeks, or are you just talking about this story? There's some creepy ass people out there right now doing some weird ass shit.
After your story and my story.
Yes, definitely.
And our UFO stories.
Okay, so we had like Satanic Bible in mine, witches, possible witches. You had satanic cults in the forest. I had the forest.
Yeah.
We had a lot of little overlapping themes here.
Yes, we have faceless human-like apparitions.
Yeah, that's creepy.
That's
to me.
pretty spooky right there. Well, in one of his videos, again, I don't know if this is a staged thing or if this really happened, which for some reason, I just put a lot of trust in this guy's videos. I don't know why. There's one where they actually get it. They're just flashing their light around, and there's a guy, and I am telling you, he did not have a face when they showed it. And I don't think they noticed it, but they got freaked out. They were like, what is that? Who is that? And then the guy just disappeared into the forest, and they never said another thing about it. And I'm like, that fucking guy had a
can we
blue
go back
face
to that?
or something.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, like I want to know more. And why aren't you guys like trying to figure out what the hell that was or who that was?
Can you imagine like us? We'd be chasing the same thing over and over again all night, like just trying to get an answer.
I know. I have so many questions. I need to talk to the CJ guy. I need him to come out here and do something, and then let me have like all the questions I have to ask. just gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Just gotta do it.
So,
speaking of Maryland,
I think I'm just gonna have to.
You said this is in Maryland, right?
It's in Maryland, yes.
Okay, because my sister, my youngest sister, lives out in Baltimore. So shout out to Laura.
I think we need to go visit.
Yep.
I think we need to go visit.
We should. When all this shit is over.
Just saying.
One of these days.
Let's go do it.
Let's do it.
We have so many places we want to go. We have such big dreams. So tell your friends about us. We can. I mean, I think we're pretty rad.
Rad? Did you just say rad?
I did just
I'm
say
slinking
rad.
into
That's
my seat. I don't know you.
Oh my God, my family is doing a group text right now, so all I keep doing is swiping this group text up.
I was wondering why your hand keeps swinging in that direction.
Yeah, because it's like every second I'm getting a text.
That's funny.
Anyway, yeah, I liked it. I thought even if it's just legends, it's like sitting at a campfire and just listening to scary stories. But then if you guys, I promise you, go watch some of these YouTubes because it makes it more exciting after you've heard the stories. Okay, and then it creeps the fuck out of you.
The creepiest one, so the lady screaming in the woods, to me that can be explained away by some animal making some god-awful noise in the middle of the night.
No. It is a human. You got to go watch it. It is like from the gut, blood curdling, female screaming, and it's not once. It's like a few times, like like somebody is murdering her.
Okay, but the creepiest thing to me is like faceless apparitions. Like for whatever reason, like
that's creepy.
Those are just like, whoa, why? Where's your face? What happened to your face?
And even if it was a hunter that walked up to his tent out of curiosity and peeked in, I mean, still, that's fucking creepy. Why are you doing that? If I saw somebody camping in a tent, I'm not going to walk up and spy on them.
Jeepers creepers.
I'm saying it's a murderer with a hook and 6 fingers. I don't know.
Did he drop him a note saying, I know what you did last summer?
Yeah. That's hilarious. Anyway, I thought it was fun. I liked our stories today.
Those are good. Very creepy, but...
I like patting ourselves on the back.
Yeah, we did a good job.
We're so good. We're so funny. We're so awesome.
Look we just got through this episode, so we're awesome because well, I don't know that we're under an hour. We're a little over an hour. We're still like way under the 2-hour mark that we're used to hitting, so... So there's that.
There's that.
There's that.
Well, girl, I'm super happy for us.
Me too. You're already in your bed. You're in your pajamas. You're ready to go. Ready to go to bed.
Not in pajamas. I'm in a super comfortable dress though.
Oh, I'm in my pajamas. I may or may not be wearing pants.
I may or may not be naked.
You'll never know.
Well,
You'll
now
never know.
I get to go spend a little more time with my son. Like the poor kids, this is their life. My house, their dad's house. My house, their dad's house. I mean, that's it.
Quarantine life that we're living right now.
It's kind of nice. You have with me.
Huh? What?
I asked my son, I'm like, so you like being here with your mama? And they're like, oh, it's so, Hannah and him are like, oh, it's so like relaxing and fun, and we could be ourselves. And Hannah's like, and I can make whatever I want in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, lady.
All right, Cal. I'm going to go say goodbye to my kid.
All right. That's our show. I'm Alma.
I'm Carlene.
Have a good night. You guys stay healthy. Wash your hands.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy, please.